We've constantly heard leaders pledging their unwavering support for Israel.
No one in history has ever stood with Israel and the Jewish people like I have.
We stand with Israel.
We stand with Israel.
You know, it's often said that allies always have each other's backs, right? Well, the US and the UK have always stood by Israel and its so-called right to defend itself. But has Israel always been loyal in return? Well, the love hasn't exactly been mutual, and there's a list of instances to prove it. It's 1954. The Suez Canal is a vital shipping route through which 2/3 of Western Europe's oil passes. Egypt is in control, and Israel's not happy. British troops are stationed at the canal, but are set to withdraw per an agreement signed with Cairo. Now, Israel, however, wants them to stay because they serve as a buffer against Egypt. Israel's attitude towards Egypt at the time, let's just say there was no love lost. What's Israel's genius plan to get its way? Attack its allies, of course. It hires Egyptian Jewish agents to plant bombs on US and British targets in Egypt. The goal, frame Cairo for the attacks, make the area seem dangerous and force Britain to keep its troops there. Sounds brilliant, right? Full Lavon, indeed. But the plan flops hard. Egypt catches wind, foils it, and arrests all the agents without civilian casualties. The failure is a huge embarrassment to Israel, and Tel Aviv denies involvement. Shocker. Fast forward to 1967, and the Arab-Israeli war is in full swing. A US spy ship, the USS Liberty, is on the Mediterranean Sea near Egypt's Sinai, reportedly intercepting communication. Now pay attention. Israel bombs and torpedoes it for nearly an hour. 34 Americans die, 171 are injured. Israel claims it's a mistake and that it had confused the USS Liberty with an Egyptian ship, which is odd considering the survivors said that the ship was flying a giant US flag. You know, kind of hard to miss. There's a huge outrage. How could Israel attack its closest ally? Israel quickly apologizes and eventually pays $2 million to the victim's family for its so-called mistake. Now here comes the controversy. Some reports say that then US President Lyndon Johnson was privately furious, but went public along with the so-called mistake narrative in order not to embarrass the US's closest ally. Or maybe it was because election season was around the corner and he needed the support of the Israeli lobby. It's 1984. Israel is spying on the US using Jonathan Pollard, an American intelligence analyst who works at the US Navy's Anti-Terrorist Alert Center and offers to sell US intel to Tel Aviv. And as any responsible ally would, Israel immediately turns him down, right? Right? Wrong. Israeli agents reportedly agreed to pay him up to $30K a year. By the way, that's around $100K in today's money for intel on their Arab neighbors, Soviet aircrafts, and defense systems, and more. Oh, and they gave him lavish gifts too, jewelry to be exact. But you have to wonder, how many more so-called mistakes will Israel make before its allies get the memo? How many more betrayals will it take for them to realize that loyalty for Israel is a one-way street? Because with every handshake and Israeli appeal for support, there seems to be a shadowy plot lurking behind the scenes. But, you know, in the end, the old Palestinian idiom may sum Israel's modus operandi up best. يمشي معك بالوجه ويتعنك في الظهر. Smile at your face, stabs you in the back.